G'day gamers, Ranger Tony here, back with more of our playthrough of The Elder Scrolls for Oblivion. It's our Dunmer Spellblade. When last we left off, we had been doing a bunch of different things. We still haven't finished the Knights of the Nine quest. We've been doing some more of the Mages Guild storyline. And as of the current moment, we have no active quests. I was trying to decide whether to go and do the Umaril Unfettered quest and get that quest line done, or whether to do some more of the mages and associated, the Mages and Fighters Guild quest lines. When we actually have a look, we are considered the Divine Crusader in the Knights of the Nine. We are a pilgrim amongst the Nine Divines. We are a magician in the Mages Guild, a Knight Brother in the Blades, and a protector of the Fighters Guild. So we need to come up a little bit here, and I think there's still a couple of ranks to go before we become Archmage of the Mages Guild. I don't know that we need to go that far, but we will see what we can do. Let's have a quick look. We've got some stuff to sell. Dwarven mace, elven short sword, glass mace, some staves. We've still got the long sword of pain on us. And we've got the Crusader's sword. All of my Crusader gear has been upgraded, which is... not upgraded, but repaired, which is good.
How may I assist you?
No, I don't think I will go and do another quest there just yet. I'm sort of feeling magician. Like, even though I know it's probably going to be a pretty hard battle, a hard fight.
Hi there.
I do feel like I want to do get the Umaril, the Knights of the Nine stuff done. However, let's see if I can buy any potions.
Hello, magician.
Anywhere. Oh no, this is not the potion area. This is the spellcrafting. And then this one is the archives. That's not going to help me. That's the Mage's quarters. This is the training area, I believe. No, it's the Imperial Watchtower. This one must be the
well met, guildmate.
Practice rooms. This will be the Coronasium, whatever they call it. So this one, I think, is alchemy.
What can I help?
Do you have any potions?
I have potions and everything you need to make your own. What will it be?
Liar! You do not have potions.
Come back and see me again.
I'm just
Safe
really
travels.
concerned that I'm going to need more potions, more healing, mainly, than I have. Oh, boy. Strange how I start yawning once I'm streaming. It's not that strange, though. I understand the physiology of it. Because the constant talking, which is not something I do much of when I'm not streaming. Not that I'm silent or anything when I'm not streaming, but I don't do as much of it. The end result is... if you don't normally talk very much and then you start talking, it changes your breathing patterns, and that can result in slightly less oxygen than normal, and that's actually what makes you yawn. G'day BM, how you doing?
How can I help you today, friend?
Don't I have a quest about him? Gilbert Germain. No. Okay. That's good to hear. Right, so I'm doing all right, thank you. I mean, it's a Sunday afternoon, so
Hello, magician.
I've got to prepare for
It's my pleasure.
work tomorrow.
Please continue.
Oh, boy. And I'm yawning because I'm not getting enough oxygen, as I was just mentioning.
Have a look at my
Spells.
wares. I'm sure there's something to suit you.
No, there's not.
Let's see if we can't teach you a thing or two.
No, you can't, because I actually know more about destruction than you do.
Be seeing you.
I'm actually trying to find somebody somewhere who sells some potions that I can buy, but I'm not having as much luck as I would like. Now, let's come down to Breville. Just can't remember. I could look it up, but I can't remember which of the mage guilds specializes in alchemy. I also can't remember which of the cities has... There it is, right there. That's the store I was looking for. A Warlock's Luck. So if I just wait here for a few hours, I can go in there and see if he's got any new potions. I doubt it. I don't recall him having a lot of healing potions to begin with. But we'll see.
What do you want? I offer the finest goods and lowest prices in all Cyrodiil.
Yeah, no, you don't have any.
Take care.
Greetings to you.
I'm missing something. Where is... Oh, that is the Mages Guild. I didn't think it was. They don't have the normal blue banners hanging outside. Yeah, these guys aren't the alchemy experts. I don't think.
Greetings, guildmate.
Well met. Bye.
Now that I do hope our paths cross again.
Okay, well, let's not worry about it. Let's... Oh, that's okay, BM. Glad you enjoy it. Right. Let's do it. Where do we have to go? That's right. Off the coast of Anvil. Oh, hang on. If I'm going to do this quest, I really want the mace with me as well. just because, and let's just double check that we don't have any negative effects. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're good. So I want the mace, just to be sure, just in case. I don't know that I need the mace for this. I'm not spec'd up into blunt, but it just feels like if I'm going to do this quest, I should take all of the gear with me. So how are we going for carrying weight? Not a lot, but at this point, I really don't care. Oh, there's still stuff I didn't end up selling then. Okay, we'll sell all that in Anvil on the way.
Go ahead.
10:30 a.m. Perfect timing.
Yes? Only quality goods for sale here. What can I interest you in?
Dwarven helmet, eh? Mithril. That's light armor. Okay, I haven't seen that one before. No, I want to come to here. We want to get rid of that.
You drive. That's more than I'd usually.
Okay, got those. Got that.
A pleasure to be seeing you.
Okay, sorry.
Well met. Let me take a look
Wanted
at what.
to double check that I had everything repaired, and I do. So we're
Farewell.
Might as well just quickly stop in at the Mages Guild.
Good day. Let's see if we can't teach you a thing or two. Be seeing you.
A pleasure to. You never know when you might need a good, strong.
Okay. Some healing potions. Some. Hang on. Yes, strong healing.
A fine bargain for you.
And I guess that'll do.
A pleasure to serve you. Let's see if we can't.
Trainer, not interested.
Goodbye.
Thank you very much. Okay, that worked well. I think I have a couple of trinkets to sell. I gotta go outside the city gates to the docks to sell those. So let's do that.
Looks like you're handy with a blade. Greetings.
He's finally cleaned up all the bodies off the floor, which is
Let's do business.
good after all this time. Okay, nothing I want there. What have I got that I need to sell? A gold amulet,
That's more than I'd usually pay.
potion of strength, potion of dispel.
Oh, you drive a hard bargain.
Yep, I'll sell that.
You got a great... Oh, you drive... That seems an excellent bargain. That seems a fair price.
Yeah, always good to see that they've cleaned up the dead bodies.
I appreciate your business. Come back anytime.
They even washed the blood off the floor, although that looks a bit suspect. Yeah, I think they need to do some work. I think there's still a slight pinkish hue to some
Good
of
to see you.
some of the stones. Okay. I sort of feel like it might be easier just to head straight for the coast. Oh look, there's a path here, which... Oh, that brings me back to the road. Let's just come up on top of this hill here. I doubt we can actually see where we're going from here. But I feel like if I just sort of go directly west, get to the coast, and then head north up the coast, that might be slightly easier than trying to go through all these. Like, the problem is I can swim once I get down to the water. I can swim if I have to. But you know what it's like. You're going around here, you're going from place to place, you end up having to go around obstacles. What is this? I don't know if I've actually got a school. That's... Okay, something's going wrong with that. I don't know if I should do that or not. No. That's going to give me some bound armor and weapons for a short time. Although I do think I need to do the bound helmet a bit more to make sure we get a level on that for this, so I can get some intelligence. Yeah, I think... I think the texture on that blade is not quite right at the moment. Oh, there we go. That's fixed it now. Let's recast that. So yeah, I'm down here at the water. All I have to worry about is the occasional crab, and the shoreline isn't too steep that I'm always feel like I'm sliding down into the water or whatever. If I was trying to go through the hills up there, it's just a plan. I'm going to assume that that is what I'm looking for over there. And I've got no idea how this is going to turn out. This fight. Well, I'm not even entirely sure what I've got to go through. Okay, my conjuration skill has increased, so I don't need to bother doing that anymore. That should enable me to increase my intelligence next level. And how far away from a level are we? They're ages away. We are so far away from the level that it is not funny. We are almost as far away from a level as we can be. I have arrived at Garlus Manata. My sworn foe, Umriel the Unfettered, awaits me inside. The final duty in my holy quest is to find him and destroy him. Now, I was just about to say, weren't some of my knights supposed to be here? And yes, they are. I'm curious about something. I feel like I'm moving slower than I was, but there's no sign of that. What's her name?
Hail, Lord Crusader. I stand ready, Lord Crusader. Knights of the Nine! Umaril and his Aurorans must be destroyed!
These Aurorans will never stand against the combined might of the Knights of the Nine.
Talos and the Nine! And the Nine!
For
This
Kara
ends
of the
here!
Nine!
Die, Grr! Do your worst.
What are you picking up? Anything else? Did you get... Okay, we got that guy over there. Was there just the two of them? I'm trying to remember now. There was 2 or 3 of them. So I managed to get... Where did they go? I managed to get my all the mods back installed that I had at the start of the stream yesterday that were causing problems, because it turns out, for those of you that didn't see it on the stream yesterday, yes, I was just supposed to sleep. I was supposed to use the weight mechanic after lying on a bed. I thought the bed stuff was broken because every time I went to the bed, it would no longer give me the how long do you want to sleep for. It would show me lying down on the bed. I'm then supposed to use the weight mechanic, and that is supposed to be it, which I was not aware of. So
These Aurorans will never stand against the combined might
re-enabled now.
of the Knights of the Nine.
So far, so good.
Aurorans are attacking!
For the Nine!
Where'd he go? Come back here, you.
Die, Kara!
Hey, you're stealing my kill, mate. There we go. It's just... But the other thing I am still unable to do is I am still unable to get my take all buttons. Tried 2 separate modes now and none of them work. So I've pretty much given up on that for the moment. I'll grab that. Is that the only one here? And it looks like my guys have rushed on yet again. Got one waiting here. No one's waiting here though. Is it... have the other ones died? Like... where is everybody? Oh no, you're down there. Let's have a look at you. Also waiting at a door. No. It's just... oh, hang on. Got that. Weak healing potion will be useful. Quick reminder to heal like that. Actually, let's... These are all two-handed blunts, aren't they? Sounds really bad. Let's... I'm not attacking. Let's switch over to the Longsword of Pain for a bit. I don't want to use up all of the power of the other sword, and more the durability of it, actually, than anything. So there's nothing over here. Great. So, there is a... Ooh. Got one more of those. There is a button right here, which is probably going to open something. I did check that. I did check that.
Do you think we took them by surprise?
I don't know. Okay, opened remotely. Very good. Push this button. Should open that one behind us. May even open that one. Or those two.
Just warming up, you pathetic worm! A righteous fury! A stand down!
The bad feeling of...
I really should stop picking up these axes. I'm already over encumbered. Let's drop that one. And drop one of those. Oh, wait up, guys. Jeepers creepers. I need to heal. I need to recharge that sword. So, so how is that going now? That is fully charged, so that's great. Common gem fully charges. And then we'll use those. Try and get in here now.
Let's get this over with. That's the best you can do.
And then they run ahead again. The problems of heavy armor as opposed to light armor. How they're surviving, I do not know. Where have they gone? Oh, no, they've gone down here. Potentially. I don't see them. I'm not getting a chance to loot any of this place. The way they're running ahead all the time. So they could have gone that way. Oh, joy. that sword discharged almost again. Something with at least a common soul gem in it seems to work well. Let's just a little bit of healing. Why can I not take you down? Okay. One down. Get some sorcery back, and let's try and recharge that sword again. I am quite royally stuck here at the moment. Seem to move forward at all. Move in any direction, so... He wasn't close enough to that. So it's here. This is the first time I have ever been stuck in Oblivion. And now I'm over encumbered. Let's just drop all of those. Man, I wish I could repair that sword. That sword is just trashed at the moment. 42%. I cannot get out of here. Okay. I don't like doing this, but... Okay. We are no longer stuck. That is very good. I also have no idea on the map where the hell I am, where the hell I need to go. I do know that I need to... Can I just wait an hour? Okay, it's going to be dangerous for my companions because they're not likely to survive. That's where we were when we came in. Okay. Nothing in there. This just wraps back around to here. Where we got attacked by that group earlier. So I am super lost as to where the rest of my companions went. Or is this the same room that I came in? Hang on, let's have a look. Yeah, so that's the C there. They must have gone through that door. What's we got here? Healing potion. Definitely want that. Yeah, I'll take all of that. Better quick save all of this progress. If I haven't quick saved, I'm going to have an absolute fit if something goes wrong. Okay. So, I thought my companions all ran this way. In fact, they all just must have run through that door right there. Let's just make sure I don't miss anything great here. I don't want those axes because they weigh too much. Spells and sorcery potions. Ooh, look at that. There's a chest there. I can get these. I wish I could use those to recharge my weapons. Speaking of which, how is that doing? That needs another recharge. So what have we got? There we go. I know the common soul gems will completely recharge. That sword. I don't know about anything else. Anything smaller. As I said, the other thing that I would love is to be able to discharge charge another one. That would be an interesting little mechanic. Would make things easy. Okay, let's just move on from here. It wasn't over here. Thankfully, nobody's locked at the moment. Oh, that's the key I need. F5, not F6. Yeah, see, there they all are, waiting for me right here, wanting to go through this door, which...
Looks like it opens up into a huge room up ahead.
Yeah, and... none of this saw the big glowing blue button over here?
For Kinnereth and the Nine!
To destroy
Vengeance of the gods is upon you, foul beast!
It's over with.
There's so many of them.
I fought much
Charge on this sword again.
The Knights of the Nine that come for you, foul beast! I can take your soul!
Let's try one of these lessers. How much has that charged it? Not quite half. I've got more lessers, so let's do another one of those.
I'm just warming this pathetic world.
I can take your soul!
fury of Sandon take you! Justice, Julianus guides my blade.
The vengeance of the
Down with
gods
you,
is
nameless
upon you,
Father
foul
Archetype.
beast!
Being dressed.
I've fought mudcrabs more fierce than the new.
This sword discharged again already. Nothing to discharge. What? Did he just disarm me? Or did my sword just break? The sword just broke. Oh my. I have used that so much, it has just broken.
Why won't you die?
I'm to Oblivion with you!
Well, that actually seems to be fairly effective. Even though I'm not specced into it.
Remember our spell.
Die! Akatoshi!
You'll never take me down.
just insane battle.
I can rush endures! The vengeance of the gods is upon you, foul beast!
And that's why I charge. Oh my god, and even more turn. Whoops. Better not be counted against me. Oh, I did not mean to hit him. I don't know how much progress I'm losing, about 5 minutes. But I'm not putting up with that. How are you supposed, in a combat like that, to always miss the companions? The really annoying thing is I can't repair that weapon. That is in such bad state at the moment. And I'm unable to repair it. Because it's enchanted. You know, I wish that was one-handed, not two.
Looks like it opens up into a huge room up ahead.
This battle is just freaking insane. There's just
Knights of the Nine,
Give the
follow
Crusader
me.
time to destroy the Orc!
That one went down pretty quick. That's good. Let's grab these. I don't know if they're actually important or not, but I feel like maybe there is something that I... Hang on. There's got to be buttons around here somewhere to get those stairs up. If I can do that while my companions are taking care of the bad guys... Where's the button? See, I'm not there to help them now, so they're getting their butts kicked. I need to get up there to that. And there's got to be a switch somewhere to raise the stairs
Standard grant you mercy.
over there. So we lost a couple of guys already.
Vengeance of the gods is upon you, foul beast.
The other button is not up here anywhere. It's got to be further around.
Die!
Okay, hang on. I'm reloading again.
Knights of the Nine, follow
I
me.
actually don't like things. So what I'm trying to do at the moment is I am madly trying to find the button that raises those stairs. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run around here until I find that button. And I'm going to see where it is. Is it over there? It doesn't appear to be behind whatever that is. It doesn't appear to be behind whatever that is. There's got, unless I've got to go all the way around, there's a set of stairs out the front, which are supposed to be able to go up. So what I'm saying here is, what I don't like about this is the fact that I'm essentially cheesing this by just ignoring these guys and trying to find my way to the next thing, and then, oh no, I can come all the way up here. Right, and then I bet you if I hit this button here, that raises the stairs. It does. Maybe try it. No, I was going to say maybe try it with the mouse. Okay, time has frozen. And I appear to be here by myself. But I'm expecting to be attacked by Umriel any second now. Either that, or I'm supposed to leave here and go somewhere to fight Umriel. So I can't do anything here. Do I have to now come... Time is still frozen. There's nothing on the map indicating what I'm supposed to do. It is saying I have to go over this way somewhere. Okay, there is something in there that is not happy. I don't know how it is able to move in this sort of frozen instant, but maybe it's not a frozen instant anymore. It's just, I need a weapon that's going to have some durability on it. I don't care what you're carrying. All I care about at the moment is healing up and somehow keeping my weapons charged. Yeah, you're not charged anymore. frankly, he wasn't that much harder than one of his little spawn doodaddy things. Yeah, the mace is probably in pretty bad condition at the moment, but I don't care. I've killed him with the mace. Actually, it's at 83%, which is brilliant for what it went through. But the idea is now I have to go to Oblivion, which I'm assuming there's going to be something up here that's going to allow me to transport through. I feel like I want these, because these Vala stones are going to allow me to charge up weapons. I'm wondering if I've got to sit on that throne. It's sort of lit up weirdly. But somehow, let's see if the quest tells me what I've got to do. The prophet, I must cast the Blessing of Talos on myself, and I will follow. Okay, so Blessing of Talos. Let's come here. Let's quick save. That was ridiculously easy as well. And I'm back at the...
Crusader, arise. Stand and face the light. Breathe again and receive your reward. You have completed your divine task. You have restored the order. You have defeated the enemy of the Nine. The order shall serve as the sword and the shield of the Nine in the dark times to come. We owe you a debt of thanks. You have succeeded where we could not. You and your knights have held true to your purpose. At long last, our purgatory is at an end. We go to the glory of the Nine to serve in their host in the life beyond this one. You may call upon our spirits when you need us. Simply pray at our tombs, and each of us will grant you a blessing from the Nine. May your sword serve the Nine all the days of your life, Crusader. Farewell.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. I couldn't move. I couldn't sheath my sword. I couldn't get any closer to them in the hope to hear better. And I'm a little disappointed that there was no subtitles for that.
You redeemed my soul from the evil that had ensnared me. For that, I am forever in your debt. The old bitterness that seemed so important to me in life. What is that now? How to weigh that against my very soul? The evil took hold of me the day that I slew Sir Caius on the Priory steps. I baited him, knowing his temper, and then I killed him when he drew against me. I killed him in cold blood with the holy sword itself. I could have disarmed him or wounded him, but a cold pride had taken hold of me, and so I slew him and went to war and never returned. The evil grew upon me until I became cruel, a tyrannical ruler, a terror upon the land. In death, evil held me even tighter than in life. Thanks to you, that all is behind me. Sir Caius and I will go to Etheria side by side, as of old. The gods are truly merciful. The Knights of the Nine stand together once again. I would not have thought it possible. We owe you a great debt. I took the sword down with me into evil. You have redeemed us both. The gods smile on such deeds, noble knight. May the Nine guide your way.
Okay. So, overall, I feel that was an acceptable DLC. I quite liked it. My problem... I cannot wait in this location. That's a nuisance. My problem is I'm starting to feel like the combat is just a little bit ridiculous. Like, seriously, the only way to make it through those fights was just to say, screw this, just keep swinging madly until you kill one of those guys. Like, it takes so many hits to take those enemies down that sitting back and, you know, waiting behind your shield for them to strike and then counter-strike and then waiting again, it would have taken half an hour to take, well, not half an hour, but it would have taken a couple of minutes to take down each one of those guardian things, whatever they were, I don't even remember. And the final fight against Umaril would have taken just like an eternity if I was hiding behind my shield. In a way, it makes me feel like using the two-handed weapons is probably a little bit better in that respect, because I feel like they might have done better damage than the one-handed weapons. But I also feel like the shield definitely helps a lot. I took a lot more damage before I started using the shield, so I don't know. Before I started this stream, I was mucking around back in Skyrim with another sword and shield build. And yeah, it just feels so much different between the two. It feels like you take a lot more in Oblivion to kill some of these opponents than it did in Skyrim. But I don't know, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. It's hard to tell. I am going to want most of this back. I'm going to leave the mace there for now. Let's switch back to the long sword of pain. Just because I want to keep the sword of the Crusaders usable for as long as possible. That's the other thing that is so annoying in this, as opposed to Skyrim. Skyrim,
Well
you
met,
have no weapon
Lord
or
Crusader.
armor durability.
How can this be? You're alive. It's a miracle. I heard voices in the Undercroft, and I came to investigate. You vanished in Garlus Malatar. After the battle, we searched further into the ruin and found you next to Umaril's corpse. You had no wounds on your body, but you were dead. I saw it with my own eyes. You did not draw breath. We laid you to rest in the Undercroft. We kept your death a secret. We feared what would happen if our enemies thought you were dead. Indeed, they are. We knew you had succeeded in destroying Umaril's physical form, but it seemed that you had met the same fate as Pelennor Whitestrake. Tell me, was Umaril destroyed? Then he is destroyed. We've won. And you're alive. I have to tell the others.
I've heard of you. You're the divine... I can repair almost anything.
Right.
You too.
Well, yeah, overall, as I said, overall, quite liked that DLC, but I'm starting to feel like the combat is a little bit...
Hail, Lord Crusader.
Yeah, a
Well
little bit
met, Sir
boring in
Knight.
some ways.
Well met, Sir Knight.
How do you do? What is it?
Hello.
What's new
Well,
with
it's
you?
no problem
I've
traveling
heard
from
that
the
the
Imperial
Nords
City
of
to
Skyrim
Put them all talking to themselves out there. Right. Is there anything here I want to keep? I'm going to sell that. I don't really want or need it. Sell those rings. Sell all of that. Sell all of those that I don't want. Sell that stuff. Put these away. Can't put any of those away. I don't want to carry a black soul gem around with me. Fact of the matter is at the moment I can't put souls into these because I don't have the spell. That's the other thing. Like, so many of the things, the spells, are so much easier to get a hold of in Skyrim. Like, I'm looking at this going, I've built a character that should be able to get a fair amount of magicka. Right? I have 170 as opposed to my 300 health and 325 fatigue. My intelligence is 85. My understanding is it can only go up to 100. So I can only on 3 more levels can I put that up. Now, I don't know how much higher that's going to go, but it's not going to go very high. So it seems to me like I go and buy spells, and I see the amount of magicka required for those spells.
Become increasingly
Blessings of the
prevalent.
I don't know
Nile,
how
said my friend.
anyone's able to cast them, because I look at this and I don't think I'm going to have much more than about 200 magicka, full stop. And I've seen spells of 600-800
Yes, Lord
magicka.
Crusader.
So that's the other thing that's annoying me a little bit, is like, how the hell do I get to cast some of those really big spells? I'm assuming I've got to enchant all of my gear to increase magicka. But I look at some of the NPCs and go, well, yeah, you're a mage. You're wearing robes. You don't even have a hood on. So you're probably wearing robes and boots, an amulet, and a ring. That's only 4 things that you're enchanting. And yet you're able to cast spells that have like 600 magicka as their casting cost. How does that work? So that's the other thing that's a little annoying here, is not understanding that. But, you know, I certainly haven't been playing the game a huge amount. So, what to do next? My gear is essentially repaired. It's not all entirely recharged. Oh, that is. No, it is all recharged now. I think what I need to do, first of all, I'm going to take a very short break. So, hang on, and I might... My video yesterday got demonetized because I took a break to grab a drink, and in that time, I had it paused like this, and the music that was playing during the pause was enough to demonetize me. Now, the money doesn't really mean anything to me, but it's just annoying that I had similar problems in Skyrim at one point. I don't know what it's all about, but it's annoying, right? I would have thought that the music in these games was not necessarily copyrighted or whatever, but anyway, I'm going to take a quick break and grab a drink. I will be right back. Hang on. Oops. I didn't have my little logo up properly while I was getting that drink. Anyway. It's not Twitch that's the problem, it's YouTube that's the problem. It's YouTube that's demonetizing things because... And I think it's not even really YouTube's fault, it's... Hang on a sec. I think in some cases it's people who have tenuous legal ground to stand on, but they make the claim that they own the copyright to the music. Whether they do or not, I don't know. And YouTube's algorithm goes, yep, I recognize that as that bit of music. Digital rights, bang. You can't monetize that stream. But anyway, I think what I want to do is... See, this is the other thing that I'm finding a little bit... As I said before, the problem with the game at the moment... No, that's not the key. Not the key. I'm not hitting the right keys at the moment. Finally, that's the right key. So the big problem I've got at the moment is I go out and fight, I can't repair my gear, right? The other big problem I've got, as I just said, I don't feel like I've got enough magicka to really be effective as a battle mage. It suggests to me that ultimately this Crusader armor is not going to be good for me, because while it's fortifying things like restoration and resist normal weapons and fortify health and, you know, resist disease, fortify destruction, it's not fortifying magicka. And that's a problem for me. So I may end up having to get another set of armor and enchant it to get my levels up, to get my magicka up. But the big problem I've got right now is when I am fighting, this gear degrades too quickly. And I'm glad they took that mechanic out when they moved to Skyrim. Because one of the things I've always said about Skyrim that is a little bit weird, it applies here as well, in just a slightly different way, right? So when they moved from Oblivion to Skyrim, they changed the armorer skill to no longer repair your weapons, right, but to upgrade your weapons. And even that feels weird, right? Because at least here in Oblivion, I can go to somebody and say, can you repair this? And they'll go, yep. Even if it's magical, they'll repair it, right? But in Skyrim, you can't do that. You cannot go to even the greatest smith in the land, Yorlan Greymane, arguably the greatest smith in Skyrim, will not or cannot upgrade weapons and armor for you. And that doesn't make sense to me. It forces you, as the player, to use the armorer, or in the case of Skyrim, the smithing skill. Closing Oblivion gates. Right. But so the game, both of the games, Oblivion and Skyrim, force you to use this armorer or smithing skill, because I now feel I need to get 18 levels of armorer ASAP. I need to do whatever I can to get my armoring level to 50, because once it's at 50, my understanding is I can maintain magical equipment with those hammers myself. And I feel I need it, because I'm going into fights now where I can completely drain the magic out of one of my weapons in a single fight against an opponent. And after just a few fights, the weapons are almost broken. The armor is doing better. It's lasting longer, but it still feels like I have a real issue on my hand if I don't get an armorer level up. So I do remember somebody in the stream yesterday, and I have a feeling it might have been Arbiter, saying that there was a quest that I could do that would give me some skill at armorer, and it would also give me a cool sword and a ring. So I'm just looking in the wiki now. To see if I can seeing anything on this page about What's my... Oh, yeah, restoration level. Yeah, it is, isn't it? My destruction's almost there as well. So, g'day, Buster. G'day, Zane. G'day, Baneberry. So, I'm trying to see if there's a quest. Someone yesterday said there was a quest I could do that would increase... that would increase my armor skill, and I'm not seeing it, but I am trying to skip over this as much as possible. That's no good. Okay, tricks to increase your armor skill. Yeah. Not really looking for that, but... You can hotkey your repair hammer. Well, that's nice, but I've run out of hotkeys at the moment, to be honest. Oblivion is treating me all right. I was just saying, I just finished the Knights of the Nine quest. Okay, so I've just killed Umriel. And it felt like there's a few problems I'm starting to see creep up. Number one is you can forget finesse in a battle. It seems at the moment that every battle I get into, there's no sense sitting back with my shield, using my shield, waiting for them to strike, and then counter-striking, because it just takes forever. So the best option is just to charge in and keep swinging until they're down. And that doesn't matter whether that's against Umriel, which that worked incredibly easily. I took Umriel down in like 10-15 seconds in both the two fights, just by just charging in and swinging madly. But yeah, that's all right, Buster Brian. I am not going to be doing any infamy. I have no interest in those quest lines at all. I pretty much play good down the line, even if these stats do say otherwise. Not there, but items stolen and assaults, I don't feel those figures are valid. Another problem I have with the game, it always tells me that I've just attacked someone and I'm like, what? Or stolen something. But yeah, I feel like I'm going into battle. If I try and block, the battle just takes 10 times longer than it needs to. And it just takes so many hits. Like, I have literally fighting, I don't know what those guys were that were around Umriel. Those big orange guys, the Alien Warriors, whatever they're called. But I've literally, this blade here, which is nothing special, it's called Longsword of Pain. So it drains health on strike. 47 uses. I have literally run out of uses killing just one opponent with this blade. And even the Sword of the Crusader is only 69 uses. Yep, nice, etc., etc. Excuse me, but it feels like the battles are just, you just have to swing madly until it's done. Which is making me wish I'm starting to think I should be going back to two-handed swords, quite frankly, because all I need is just the health or the armor to withstand their attacks. It feels just ridiculous to be charging in and using a shield when it takes so many hits to take these opponents down that the battle just takes forever. And then your weapons just degrade so quickly. Not the charges, but the health of them. And because all of the equipment that I've got now is enchanted, I can't repair it until I get to level 50 of armorer skill. And that's what I was just complaining about how much work it's going to take for me to get to armorer 50 so I can consistently repair this armor. Now, look, yeah, I know I can go and dump all of this Crusader stuff back on the armor stand and it's immediately recharged and fully repaired. And that's wonderful, except when I'm out on the field, you know, I'm in the middle of a dungeon and I've been taking hit after hit after hit and it's all just about to fall apart. So that's the problem I've got with this game at the moment. It's not going to stop me playing it, not yet anyway, but it just seems like... And I like Sword and Shield. Like, in the playthrough that I probably enjoyed the most of Skyrim was my Sword and Board Nord, right? A Sword and Shield Nord warrior who had just like a bit of restoration. He was basically a Nord knight. And that went so well for me. I didn't feel like every battle was just swing madly until they're down. I felt I could use the shield effectively. But here, I don't know. I don't... It doesn't feel right at the moment. So I'm actually going to put this Sword of Pain away, I think. And I think the combination that I'm going to rock with most of the time is I'm going to have this Claymore of Flames, which is not super great as a weapon, but it's better than nothing. And then I'm going to put away the Longsword of Pain for now. I'm going to wield that most of the time, and then I will switch to the shield and the Sword of the Crusader when I need it. And I think that's going to work better for me in the long run, because it just, with so many of these opponents, you hang back. Yeah. So, I don't feel like hanging back with the sword, with the shield. I mean, a little bit of, if I really need to, blocking with the sword, I think will be okay. And then, if I feel like I'm having real problems, I can get the Crusader sword out, and I've got the shield there, and what have you. Yeah, and as I said, until I can get more magicka, and now you're telling me that doing Oblivion gates will somehow get me more magicka, is that because of the stones that you get from the Oblivion gates? Because I've seen that they do have some sort of enchantment on them. Am I supposed to be carrying them around with me, or what? So let's have a quick look at, because I've got one of those in here. I've only done the one gate so far. So the Desolation, so that weighs a pound. The Descendant Signal Stone. Absorb agility 5 points for 30 seconds on strike. Fortify agility 7 points on self. Is that going to fortify... Let's just have a look for a sec. Is that going to fortify agility right now? What is my agility? It's 45. If I pick up that and carry that with me right now, is that going to buff my agility? No. So I actually have to use it like some sort of spell object. Oh, I use these stones on a piece of equipment. Can I use that with... I can't use that with anything that's already enchanted. Right, so I'm not going to carry that with me. Where am I going? Here. So I'm going to put that away for now. I also feel like I should put away any of the soul gems that aren't full at the moment, because I don't have the means to fill them. And quite frankly, that's always been a problem of mine, even in Skyrim, is carrying around a whole bunch of soul gems.
Farewell.
I'm either in the situation where I'm like using a bound weapon or whatever, and I'm filling soul gems all the time, and I'm filling even high level soul gems with the smallest petty souls around, which is a complete waste. Or I'm carrying a bunch of soul gems around forever and I've got no way to fill them. That's the way things always seem to me. So I definitely need to get my repair levels up, my armory level up. The problem is I can't do it right now because I have no gear that I can repair because everything I've got is enchanted. So I think I'm going to come over here and we're going to do this Oblivion gate. And I want to just quickly note, my magicka is 170. So I want to see what my magicka is after this is all over. This is insane. And having the shield would not have helped me all that much. It might have deflected a little bit of that damage. But my god, that's just insane. The levels of damage. And the levels of the number of times I have to, and let's look at the status of that sword. That sword was at 100%. It's now at 82%, and all the charges on that sword are already gone. All of them. In a fight against, what, 3 or 4 opponents? This is insane. It almost makes you not want to use enchanted weapons, but I feel you have to. Like, it doesn't feel like it's viable to just use standard weapons, because it doesn't feel like they do enough damage. Save often. You don't miss. And there's multiples of these guys. with the enchantment on the sword, those fights go easy. Without it. Horse that must have just wandered in, and I've got a level. Can I leave and go back and find somewhere to rest and get my level up? I hope that's not going to be something detrimental to do that.
How are you?
Okay. You?
Fantastic. Thanks for asking.
Okay, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to take that with me as well.
Have you heard about Kvatch? They say that Deidre came from Oblivion and burned the whole city to the ground.
Okay, I definitely want intelligence for the Magicka. Let's get my endurance up to 100 so that I get my agility back as quickly as possible. And willpower, I think. And I can level these others up later.
Interesting.
What's my Magicka at now? 180, which is exactly what I thought it would be.
The Nibene Basin. Great. From rolling farmlands
I
by
want
the
to
river,
see how a
east to the
non-magical
rugged
weapon
uplands
does
of
against
the...
some of these guys, because A, I need something that I can repair to get that skill continuing to increase, and B, it's just insane trying to get through all of this, and the amount of effort it's taking to keep these weapons going. Definitely going to head this way. Oh, joy. Around this side, maybe? Okay. Oh. What do I do here? I can't go that way. Damn it. I didn't see that in time. Maybe this door here is what I need to do. Because I'm feeling at the moment like the only spell that is useful for me to use in combat is healing. Like, I'm leaving it on healing because that's sort of what I want to do. It was that thing, I think, that just jabbed me. Either that or that. this is doing jack shit to him. Heal. I feel like assaulting these Oblivion gates was much easier at a lower level. Now that I'm getting higher levels, I'm getting higher level enemies. And it's definitely not as fun. And run out of charges on the sword. It's probably a waste of that, but anyway. Save there. Did that actually quick save? There we go. Okay, looks like that was the way I had to go. What is the map showing? Oblivion Cave. Down here. I bet you this room's going to be guarded though. Coming in. There we go. My wanderlust is getting the better of me. I know I should have just gone through that door. I shall go through the door. What is my blade looking like? 60% and 19 uses left on charges, which is pretty terrible, but right. Health that time. I mean, the only thing that the shield seems to be good for is I do seem to be able to survive. I mean, look at the state of the health of these. I do seem to be able to survive longer in fights with multiple enemies when I've got the shield. But still, it's just like the only way to take out the enemies is just to go nuts. Because if you're sitting there just going block, strike, counter attack, block, counter attack, it just takes forever, and it doesn't. Well, the only thing that seems to happen is there's more time for more enemies to come up and do things to you. Another elven longsword. I do sort of feel like after I do this Oblivion Gate, back to doing Fighters Guild and Mages Guild quest lines, because I feel like I need the levels. I mean, I don't know if it's just that my levels aren't high enough, and so I'm not doing enough damage to these guys, or what it is. It just, I don't know. This just takes so many hits to do this stuff. So I thought that's where I came from. I thought this was the Oblivion Cave. I'm positive this was the one I came through. Yes, it was. And that's to the waste of the Oblivion, so I do have to go back this way. That actually helped me much? I guess it has. some resistance to fire that's keeping me going, I think. I'm not sure if this is the direction I should be going, but it feels better than staying down there and getting hit. No, that was supposed to be like that. You don't have any charges anymore. Hard with all of the fire and everything to actually see what's going on. I wouldn't use this weapon normally, I'm not spec for it, but at this point anything that is going to do some damage. What the fuck do I have to go this way now? Okay. Did I not come this way, or did I came from down there? Okay. What's it gonna... Oh. Is that the way in, maybe? Let's have a look. I should have read what that said on the door. Okay. There's a third one. I do not know how I survived that fight. That actually had some charges left in it. it was acting like it didn't, which is why I stopped using it. Dramoran Longsword. Dramoran Kindreave Shield, whatever the hell that is. Oh, and I'm over encumbered. Of course I'm over encumbered. What have you guys got? Junk. Gold. And more gold. What's happened? I'm getting frustrated. I really am. I hate to say it, but I'm finding this incredibly frustrating that every battle just requires a ridiculous amount of effort to get through. And I don't know if it's that I just haven't built this character properly. Like at the moment, I'm starting to feel like I wanted to build this character as a battle mage, able to use magic and able to use weapons. And quite frankly, that's failed, right? Because the magic, I'm at a point where I can't get any more powerful spells because I don't have the magicka. And so that's really annoying me. So I feel like, well, maybe I'll make him more of a knight-type character, which is why I finished off the Knights of the Nine. But it feels like every battle is just swing the sword a million times as fast as you can and hope your health is high enough to last. You know? And then you've got to sit there for 5 minutes and just spam healing at the end of the battle, and sometimes try and do it in the middle of the battle just to survive. And this is just not enjoyable at the moment. And yeah, like, as I said, it's unclear to me whether I've just, like, maybe I should have just started off as a more fighter character and left the magic mostly out of it, except for a bit of restoration, maybe. You know, so like a knight class, maybe. I'm just having a look at the classes on the website. I mean, yes, there is something to be said that I should have stuck to the standard BattleMage. I'm recognizing that now, because I didn't. If I had have done that, I would have, and if I had been using all of those skills, I would have been able to level my intelligence a little bit higher, and maybe have a little bit higher magicka by now. But it's unclear from that. Like, there's the Crusader class. They have strength and willpower. Their skills are athletics, blade, blunt, destruction, hand-to-hand, heavy armor, and restoration. There's the Knight, which has personality and strength, blade, block, blunt, hand-to-hand, heavy armor, illusion, and speechcraft. I don't think I'd like that. And there's the Warrior class, which has armorer, athletics, blade, block, blunt, hand-to-hand, and heavy armor. I'm not sure I'd like that either. I feel like, what was the one that I said that had the Crusader, because it had some restoration in there as well. Athletics, blade, blunt, destruction, hand-to-hand, heavy armor, restoration. With attributes, strength, and willpower. I'm not even sure I would do that. I would probably build my own class. And probably do something around restoration. But see, I don't know. At the moment, as I said, it just feels like my weapons aren't doing enough damage at the moment. And I don't know whether that's because my blade skill is too low. Yeah, I'm level, what? 16? And I've got a blade skill of 64, and a block of 53, a heavy armor of 67, a restoration of 70. Like, even though technically my restoration level is only apprentice, because I'm not actually over 50 yet of that. If I take all this armor off, I lose a lot of restoration skill. But it's starting to feel like destruction is not doing enough for me at the moment. I mean, the heavy armor is doing as much as it can, but the thing is that I'm not seeing... Like, this is the best armor I've found in the game. I'm not seeing Dwarven, I'm not seeing Orcish. I'm seeing smatterings of Dwarven, little pieces here and there, but it doesn't seem to be any better than this Knight of the Nine armor, and this Knight of the Nine armor is enchanted as well, heavily enchanted, but it's heavily enchanted sort of leaning towards that whole Crusader, sort of a knight, a fighter, sword, shield, heavy armor, restoration sort of character. Yeah, I don't know. This is, like, I don't even feel like I can complete this here at the moment. It takes so much to kill a single opponent here with a blade. And I'm just not understanding why. It's just super, super frustrating. Part of me wants to start again. Part of me wants to just... Small part of me wants to just push through. Right? Because there is a small part of me that wants to complete this campaign. But there's a part of me that's looking at it and going, would this have been easier if I didn't do any side missions? If I just started and just did the main quest line from start to finish with nothing else? I thought I had a pretty good thing with this custom build as well, but, I don't have that many hours in the game, and I really haven't watched a lot of videos or read a lot of stuff about the best ideas for builds and all that sort of stuff. It may just be the game, right? It may just be this is the way it is, but it's just feeling super frustrating at the moment that every battle is just a colossal case of swing madly until your opponent is dead. You've lost a half to 2/3 of your health. If there are multiple opponents, you've either got to get a shield out and try and block a lot of it and slowly whittle down one opponent, or you just go hell for leather, take out that one opponent and try and ignore any of the other opponents that are raining blows down on you until you can get left with one opponent. And if you've then got a slither of health left, you then try and heal while you block that opponent or dodge that opponent and then whatever, attack them and kill them. I'm like the Oblivion gates that I've done previously never seemed that hard because they were always done at fairly low levels, right? So I feel like I'm at a high enough level now that it's definitely going to be harder. But as I said, it just feels like the weapons, like it doesn't, I don't know, there's something about the difficulty. It has never felt, even when I've had the bow in Skyrim, you know, and I think I've made it pretty clear by now that I'm not really a fan of the bow in Skyrim anymore. I love using bows, but I just can't seem to use it as effectively as possible. Sure, I have got all the way through with the bound bow. I did that worked. The bound bow did a lot of damage. Ironically, I've been playing around with the bound sword, and it doesn't seem to be anywhere near as useful as the bound bow. So, yeah, I just don't know what to do here. To me, the biggest problem is, you know, I'm starting to feel again like maybe I do need to be using the sword and shield, because the shield, even when I'm not actually actively blocking like that, the shield is providing me with some extra. Like, it's saying my armor at the moment is 34. If I switch to that, it drops to 22, purely because I don't have the shield. Right, so using this is a much better layout in general. But the fact of the matter is it just, until I can repair the magical weapons, this is just so hard to get through. Right? Oh, damn it. I was going to try and just run through here, because last time I came down here, that guy was over there. Should have known that was coming. Anyway. I think I've just got to stick with sword and board. Here's step one. Got to somehow try and keep this sword from degrading too much. So maybe I will use the Elven Longsword at the moment as a backup, despite the fact that I really can't injure these guys with it. Let's use one of these. jammed in somewhere. That was where I came in. So, I went through that cave for absolutely nothing. Because there doesn't appear to be anything I can do here except go back. Ring of Fire walking, I'll definitely take that. That is a big help. I don't feel like there was any other reason for that guy to have come in here. Does this go somewhere else? It does. Aha. This may ultimately be where I need to go. God damn it. Recharge my sword, so let's just do that. This room doesn't seem any different from the last one. Come in here, there's nothing I can do. And there's no other place I can go. All I can do is come back out. And obviously try and find another entrance to the town. I'm really concerned about the state of my armor and weapons. My greaves are almost broken. sword's doing alright, but I mean, I don't know what happens once my greaves break. Dangerous as this going to be with a turret up there. This looks like the only way to progress. Don't know. I'm not seeing a door anywhere. Just certain death down that way. And that's no better either. Oh, this gate is opened elsewhere? You're kidding me. To get into these bloody towers. Dead ends there. Okay, can I get into that tower? Somehow. I've got to say, it's not looking promising. Maybe. I'm not hitting you. the gear looking? Not good. Anything, but I've done it now. Assuming I want to go in here. G'day, Saint Salvius. How are things going? You want the honest answer, or... Because I'm a little bit frustrated at the moment. That's not a good idea. It just feels like everything takes... things are just getting a little bit difficult, I guess, at the moment. It takes so many hits to kill things that it doesn't seem like using a shield is really worth it most of the time, because you need to just sort of charge in and attack. Or at least that seems to work reasonably well some of the time. The shield, using a shield slows things down a lot. And still doesn't actually prevent you from taking the same amount of damage sometimes. I feel like using the magic side of things like I want to is not as effective as I had hoped it would be. that's worked reasonably well this time. I've just been having some real issues. Like, it seems like most of the combat just requires me doing this, just sitting there and going ham with a sword to take down an opponent. And the fact that the equipment that I've got wears down so quickly, both in the terms of the enchantments that are on it and in terms of its durability, and I can't repair any of it at the moment. So it's just rather frustrating. I seem to do a little battle like this, and then I spend the next couple of minutes restoring my health. And it doesn't seem to me that in Skyrim it was quite this bad. I mean, the durability on the equipment is the thing that's really killing me at the moment. Somehow my shield is... Well, I know why my shield is pristine, because I've rarely used it. I was actually using two-handed weapons, but... You know, my greaves are about to break, and I have no idea what's going to happen when that breaks. Trying to keep this charged and trying to make sure that it doesn't end up breaking as well. So I brought along the Claymore. I was going to use that or the Daikatana, but neither of those seem to be very effective either. There was a little trap there. Okay. This is the way forward, so let's do this. And it just feels like using the non-magical weapons just do not seem to do anything anymore. Like, I've got the Elven Sword out, but as soon as I attack something with it, it'll feel like it's done nothing. So I'll have to switch over to something else. But I'm initially using this sword in an attempt to save the durability and charges on the other. Look how many hits this is taking to kill what should be, at this point, not an insignificant kill, but I should be able to take that down with maybe half the hits, I feel. Like, it feels like... Oh, crap, I haven't healed. And now there's two of the others. Yeah, it's just really frustrating at the moment. I'm finding myself incredibly frustrated with everything about the combat at the moment. It just feels... Oh God, did I not do a level anywhere? Don't have enough levels of armor. I can't repair my own equipment. So I'm at this thing now where I feel like I have to kill these opponents quickly. They do the least amount of damage to my equipment. yeah, I mean, considering that I have finished the Knights of the Nine and I've got this really good equipment, you would think that it would be a little bit easier to do stuff, but it's not. Also, I'm finding that walking in armor in Oblivion is just so slow. I mean, I know I don't have a great speed, but even still, or agility, I mean, just trudging along. It just feels like I do so much better in Skyrim. My sword and board character in Skyrim does not have this problem of feeling like every sword swing is just doing nothing. Essence of regret. It sort of feels like maybe there is only one way to build a successful character in Oblivion. And it feels like, well, I suppose it does depend on the character that you're building. I'll just say this first. So, you know, my bottleneck at the moment, I don't have enough magicka. All right, and I've been told that that will be increased as I do Oblivion gates. I do an Oblivion gate, and it's just feeling like every single fight is just taking forever to get through. I never have enough healing potions, which is why I'm not using them in battles at the moment, because they just seem so hard to find. And the weapon repairing system is at the point now where I have entirely magical gear, but I do not have enough skill to repair it. So if I could repair it after battle, then I would just carry a bunch of repair hammers, and I wouldn't have such a big deal with all of this. It would be just like, repair all of that. You know, I've got enough soul gems that I can recharge all of my weapons, but now I'm at a situation where if I keep using all my weapons and my armor, they're all going to break. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised. I think there was some little message that came up there. Did that break my greaves at all? No, they're still at 3. Like, they are so close to breaking that it's unbelievable. It was telling me that that's out of charge, so I'm just going to use one of the my last Vala stuff to get that back to charge. But I also want to take a break, so hang on a sec. Okay. And I better save. Oh, look, there was more of you, was there? And this knockback stuff is just... the way it knocks you back in this is just such a pain. No. I don't know. Like, I was just thinking about it now. What would I like to do differently here? And about the only thing I can think of is maybe if there was a mod that took away the durability on weapons and armor, I would be much happier. Right? That's what's killing me at the moment. Every single battle I go through, I'm just spending so much time worrying about the durability of my equipment. Like, I'm seriously considering, and it's going to take a huge amount of effort, but turning around and going back out of the Oblivion gate, back to the Priory of the Nine, to repair my equipment. Right, because my equipment is just so warped right now. But there's no option but to keep using it, because if I don't use this sword, if I switch back to the Elven Longsword that I picked up, Silence. I hate using Daedric weapons. I don't need to silence anything. I might switch to it in a minute. We'll see how we go. There's got to be another one of these guys. Just throw this right. There's two of these little bastards. And it just feels like this sword does so little damage to these guys that how the hell am I going to survive this fight? I'm not. I should have healed up. I'm sorry, I'm not in a very good mood. I'm actually considering stopping the stream at the moment because I am so frustrated with this, and this is such a negative stream at the moment. I feel like this is not a good thing. Come on. I hate these goddamn clan fears. This one little thing almost wiped out my entire health. see, that's the thing. And to be honest, I didn't even think of that. I should have. Right? I definitely should have thought of it. But here's the thing. It's obvious to me now that there is definitely a right and a wrong way to build a character in Oblivion. And you really, really have to know what you're doing. And it doesn't matter whether you're building a custom class or not. I'm not talking about building a custom class. I mean progression through the levels, right? And I said it the other week, probably a week or so ago. I saw a video by somebody who basically said that what happens is people start off on the default level, and you know when they have built their character wrong because they slowly start to drop the difficulty slider down to be able to continue. But you know what? That shows me that there's something wrong with the game, not with the player. Right? Because it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be that unless you know every single little inner working of the game, you're not going to be able to play it on the default level. Right? And I find that annoying, but you're right. I do think I need to drop it down a little bit and see if that helps. It's just, it is so frustrating that I've got to do that to get through the game. Yeah, it does seem unbalanced, you know? Now that seems better to me. That was like 5 or 6 hits to kill that guy. As opposed to the, 10 or 20 hits it seemed to take to kill all of those other ones. Now I'm not saying I want to be some sort of god in these games. And I'm actually feeling like maybe moving it up just a touch because that did seem almost too easy. But, the difference between the game seeming normal and the game seeming like screw you hard as you go up in levels. And that's the problem, right? At the start of the game, I didn't have a problem with it. But now that I'm up beyond like level 14, level 15, I'm actually at level 16, but I think it was somewhere around there where it just started to seem really unbalanced. That felt better. Now actually what I want to see, I do want to now switch to the Elven Blade and see how it feels with this against opponents. Because, yeah, I can understand that. What did that blade message tell me about? Something about my level with blades. Oh, I got to level 65. That actually hasn't... I don't know why that blade thing popped up, because it actually hasn't... Like, I was at Journeyman. Once you get to level 50, you're Journeyman. I guess just 65 is a significant level for some reason. Look at that. A normal Elven Blade is actually doing some damage for once, which it wasn't before. Just me being a mum now. Goodbye. He will eventually make his way back over here. There's also another somewhere. That's a Dremora Claymore. That is a Dremora Claymore, but I'm obviously not going to take it because it weighs a ridiculous amount. I thought there was another. It is right there. I don't know what to say right now. That's the default. I was sitting like there, and it's feeling too easy. Like, there's something wrong with the game if you can have a character who feels like everything is just too hard and too much of a struggle after leveling, and then you change the slider that slightest little bit and it suddenly feels too easy. Like, yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people love this game and they say it's the best thing since sliced bread, but I don't know. I do want to finish this. I'm disappointed that I've had to change the difficulty level to do that. But I guess that's what I've got to do. I almost feel like I should be putting the difficulty level back to normal now when I go back to doing, like, non-main questline or non-major questline stuff. Doing the Fighters Guild and Mages Guild, I'm not sure if I still need the difficulty at this lower level. It's all really strange. Okay.
Greetings,
I need
Sinette.
to get all this
How
stuff
are you?
repaired and recharged. All the ghosts are at rest. Although apparently I can pray at any one of these now and get different bonuses. I don't know what they are and whether they
Zenithar
stack.
grants you good fortune.
So that gave me Zenithar's Blessing. Zenithar's Blessing is luck. Okay. Is that all it is?
May you always endeavor to become the master of your craft.
Lord Akatosh lends you.
So... okay, I don't see the Fortify Luck anymore, so what did that give me? Akatosh, Fortify Strength.
His might. When your own strength fails you, trust in the night. Dubella has strengthened your wit and charm. Never allow
Personality. I don't want that one.
the beauty of the world to be lost.
Kinnereth grants you the swiftness of the
Speed?
wild.
Oh, that does feel speedy, doesn't it?
The Great Mother endures. Mount
Endurance?
grants you her endurance. When
All
all
that
else
lives
fails
will
you,
die, and all
Arcane is willpower.
that is
love
dead will
for
live
the
again.
power to carry on.
Arcade grants you the will to reverse the cycle.
Stendar grants you the gift
Fortify
of
agility.
agility. Always be swift to protect and swift to forgive.
Julianus blesses you with his wisdom and his...
Fortify intelligence. I think that's the only one I really want, because that should give me, technically, an extra 10 mana. Magicka, whatever you want to call it. Although, was that coming from...
guidance. Trust in your knowledge,
Stendar
for it is the
grants you
whole...
No, the 180.
whole of who you
of
are.
agility.
Yeah.
Always be swift.
Julianus
to protect
blesses you with his wisdom and
Sorry
his
about
guidance.
this voiceover now that
Trust
I've
in your
got all
knowledge,
of those.
for it is the whole of who you are.
Okay, let's... How can I be over encumbered? I didn't pick anything up that I wasn't carrying before. Fine. Put them all there. See if I care. I'll go upstairs in the nutty.
Greetings, Sir Knight.
G'day, David. Yeah, I agree, Saint Salvius. I'm actually this. Can we see that? This close to stopping.
Greetings, Sir Knight.
But I really want to
Well
complete
met,
it.
Sir Knight.
So, I don't know, maybe... I have, in my off time, I have been playing around
Greetings to you.
on Skyrim again. And I'm really starting to feel like maybe I need to fix those. Maybe what I should be doing is going back to playing more Skyrim. That's what I'm feeling like. Until Enderall comes out, which at the moment I'm hanging out for. I'm really at a case of, you know, is it worth staying on this at the moment when it just feels so...
Brotherhood comes to you in your sleep. It's how they recruit new members.
Yeah, it just feels so... It's like a struggle at the moment.
I'm at your service. I can fix whatever you break.
Sure, repair all of those. I got the money.
Good day.
Hello.
Kinnereth bestowed the boots of the Crusader on a worthy knight. Good to hear
I don't
that
know,
someone
Ben.
is
It's
taking up the
supposed to be
cause.
this
Well, Sir
sometime
Knight.
this month, so March. But they might end up pushing it back. I don't know. Putting that away. I'm going to keep that with me. I'm going to sell that and sell that. Sell those. Oh, put that away. Hopefully that's enough now that I can pick up all my gear.
Today's your lucky day, so let's hear it.
See how much faster I'm moving without armor? Like, the heavy armor slows you down so much.
Hail, Lord Crusader.
Hail, Sir Knight.
What's on your mind?
Well met, Sir Knight.
G'day, Arbiter. How you doing? Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Let's just go back to here, I guess. To sell up.
What kind? Have a look around. You won't find better prices in all Tamriel. You got a great deal there. That's a good deal. You've made a good bit of... a fine transaction. And... that's more a good. That's a. You drop. You've. A good. Another satisfied customer.
Is my willpower
Goodbye,
fixed?
please.
Yes, it is. Oh, no, my blade's at expert now. Why was it saying only 65 before when I checked on it, when it actually had gotten to 75? I must have had some negative debuff on me or something. So I'm now an expert. with the blade.
Come again.
I don't know what to do now. I really don't. For those who have just joined, the stream hasn't been going well. After much umming and ahhing and one minor prompt from St. Salvius, I've actually dropped the gameplay difficulty down a little bit because it's just seeming so hard to do anything. Like, it's obvious there is a certain way you've got to build a character, and I'm not doing it that way. Every fight I go into, I'm concerned that my armor is all going to just disintegrate. I can't repair any of my equipment because it's all enchanted. That's the only reason why I'm carrying an elven longsword at the moment, so that I can, I can repair it. But at normal difficulty level, it feels like that blade is just not doing enough damage. And so it's just, for the last half an hour to an hour, probably an hour, it's just been frustrating the hell out of me. And it was starting before that. I have finished the Knights of the Nine DLC. And going off, I went off and did that fight. And going off to fight those guys that are Umriel's bodyguards, whatever they are, they're Ayleid warriors or whatever, I don't remember what they are. The number of hits that it required to kill just one of them. I actually had... not this elven longsword, but there's a sword that I've got there, the longsword that I had that, well, let's just go back to base and pick it up. It's back at base. So I had this sword which has like 47 charges or something on it, and there was one fight there where I killed one opponent, just one, and that was enough to wear that sword, to lose all the enchantment on it. Alright, it's just... It feels like at no point... So this longsword of pain, right? 47 charges. It took 47 hits with that sword, draining 15 points of damage every 6 seconds, plus doing, 12 points or whatever the equivalent actual amount of damage is. But it took 47 hits to take down an opponent. And I just look at it and go, that doesn't feel right. It just feels so screwed up. And I did go through that, and it actually killing Umriel was easy, because I decided at that point that the best tactic was just to charge in and start swinging, and don't stop swinging until the opponent is dead, which was fine for Umriel because he's by himself. But all of those other Ayleid warriors, or whatever they were called, they were just coming in huge packs of them. And it was just mind-numbingly hard, it felt. So I'm really not feeling it for this game at the moment, I've got to tell you. I understand... St. Salvius just said that he played, got through a few levels, and then everything got really hard. I've seen another video, I mentioned this before, I saw a video on YouTube the other week where someone said that, if you don't level properly, or maybe it wasn't a video, maybe it was a wiki or something I was reading, but it was basically saying if you don't level up correctly in Oblivion, the game gets really hard, and the only solution people have is that they start dropping the difficulty down. And I really didn't want to do that, but it's feeling like I have to, and it's disappointing, because to me that's a problem with the design of the game, not with the player. I mean, sure, it's a little bit with the player, but the game should not be set up in such a way that there is this very narrow band of
Really?
options that you can choose every level when, or not even every level when you level up. It's not so much.
Must have been very brave.
Is this true?
Absolutely.
Is that a mod,
So
David?
long.
You too.
Because that's the other thing. I don't want to have to put... I've already got one mod in there that gives me 5 points per level. Yeah, it's just... This is really kicking my butt at the moment. And it feels like this character is just unworkable. Like... I know I didn't build this character ideally with the major skills that I picked. That really didn't work all that well because none of those are to do with intelligence, and I picked strength and intelligence as my primary attributes. But I've worked around that, and frankly, if it wasn't for the mod that I'm running that gives me 5 points per level, I think I would have thrown in the towel 5, 6, 7, 8 levels ago, right? I am, to be entirely honest, I feel like playing Skyrim right now. I don't feel like continuing on with Oblivion because I don't feel like there's all... I mean, it's not that there is... that Skyrim is perfect. It's not. And as I've said a million times, I can't play an archer in Skyrim very well. I just don't work very well in there as an archer. But sword and shield, I don't have a problem in Skyrim with that. You know? Trying to mix magic into that, though, doesn't work very good. But I just don't feel like I'm getting anywhere with this build at the moment because the game just won't let me get anywhere. And even if the realistic leveling mod is going to help the leveling, it's not just the leveling that's getting me. The other big thing, as I've said, is the weapon durability. I went in and did one Oblivion gate, right? And before I was halfway through that Oblivion gate, every single one of those pieces of armor were less than 50%, and my greaves were at 3% for about the last third of that Oblivion gate. I don't know how they didn't break, quite frankly. And the fact is, I can't repair them. Have no way to repair them because my armorer skill is only at 32 and it needs to be at 50 before I can... That's my understanding anyway. It needs to be at 50 before I can repair enchanted equipment. So... And strangely enough, that's a problem I've found with Skyrim as well. The fact that so much of the game in Skyrim hinges on this one skill. Either A, smithing, or in this case, armorer. And it's even though they actually do different things, like that's the playthrough that I've wanted to do for Skyrim, right? And maybe that's what I'll do right now. But I have thought about doing a playthrough of Skyrim as a warrior, sword and board, probably not sword and board Nord this time. I think I would do sword and board orc, but not ever using smithing to improve equipment. I would be allowed to use smithing to make equipment. So if I wanted to make a sword, shield, piece of armor, what have you, I could use smithing to make it. But can I get through on the default difficulty without improving the quality of a weapon or item. I can enchant things. I can use enchanted items. But that's the thing that was always strange to me in Skyrim. Not always was. It still is strange to me in Skyrim, is the fact that, you know, you can level up all that equipment. You can improve it, make it fine, superior, whatever those various levels are, which actually make them better. They make them do more damage, or they make them stronger as armor. And yet, nobody else in the world does that. At least in this game, at least in Oblivion, you do actually have, like, fine iron weapons or fine steel weapons. I don't know if you have, like, fine dwarven or fine elven or fine orcish or anything like that, but you can find the fine version of weapons in this game. I don't know if that's to do with armor as well. I don't recall seeing any armor that had a fine attribute on it. But the fine weapons do a little bit more damage, and so you can see them in the hands of your opponents because you get them off your opponents. And so that I thought was interesting, because in Skyrim, nobody else can get the benefit of upgrading weapons or armor but you. And so it just makes me wonder, can you actually get through without upgrading a weapon? I'd actually like to see is it possible. Well, I was going to say without enchanting a weapon, but you can find enchanted weapons as well. I would like to actually see if it's possible to get all the way through on default difficulty without actually using magical weapons, but there's a problem with that. Because if I was doing a sword and board character, Meridia's Dawnbreaker sword is a very good sword, and I like that sword. Although, I'm actually thinking of doing this as an orc and using axes. So, I don't know. I really wanted to complete this. I really wanted to get through this game without, you know, because I even had someone ask in the comments the other day, don't you get bored with starting the game over and over and over again? And that was only the third time I'd started Oblivion. And it's like, well, it's this thing I've got where I just don't build the character right and I feel like I've got to start again. Maybe with realistic leveling and starting again as more of a knight. As I was saying, I was looking through the classes before, and I think the class that fits more with what I would want would be the Crusader. They're combat specialized, which I think might help me a little bit more than being magic specialized. They have strength and willpower as their primary attributes, so that means they're going to do good damage with weapons, but willpower is going to increase their magicka regen, which I'm not... I'm thinking maybe I wouldn't go with that. Maybe I'd actually build a custom class where I would go strength and endurance instead, just to make sure I've got plenty of stamina. But their skills are athletics, which I don't really care about, so I might even drop that. Blade and blunt, destruction, hand-to-hand, heavy armor, and restoration. Well, what I'm actually thinking is there was this... What was the warrior one? The warrior is endurance and strength. Armor, athletics, blade, block, blunt, hand-to-hand, heavy armor. See, that's actually really good. I would probably use the warrior template, but change hand-to-hand to restoration. Because I just feel restoration is needed. And maybe with the mod, the realistic leveling mod, it would work better. There is a more durable armor mod too. Yeah, see? It's all of those gameplay sort of things all of the mods that are changing the leveling system and changing the gameplay that much just to make the game feel right proves that there's something wrong. Because even though I've got mods in Skyrim, I've gotten through as a mage, so as a mage, as a sword and board Nord, as a two-handed axe, and as a bound bow sneaky archer without any mods that radically change anything about the gameplay in Skyrim. So that proves to me that at least from a gameplay perspective, even though you can sit there and say all day that, oh, you know, Skyrim nerfed magic, I agree 100%. Skyrim, you know, and there's a lot of other changes that were made from the combat system and the magic system and everything, and you can sit there and say that they're all bad because they were changed so much from what they were in Oblivion. But my experience right now is if you have to use this many mods, so we're talking +5 per level, per attribute per level mod, because without that some of them would be going up 2 points, others 3, others just 1, and occasionally one going up 5 points. I would not be at these stats that I've got here right now if it wasn't for the +5 per level. If I've then got to throw in a realistic leveling mod to make it easier to level, and at the same time start doing things like mods that turn off durability or radically change the durability, what's the point, you know? Look, don't get me wrong, the games are better with mods, but what I'm saying is, in Skyrim, mods add to the experience. I don't ever feel... Like, I played with a mod that changed archery, and I turned it off because I felt it made archery too powerful. Right? It may, and what it did was it felt like it made archery as powerful as using the bound bow. And that was there was a bow that you could make yourself and upgrade much quicker than you could upgrade anything else, right? And that bow just became super powerful. I sort of feel like I want to use that again because I can't play archers, as effectively in that as I can in other games, or as I would like to in any game, I think is the problem. But yeah, I don't feel like I need mods in Skyrim to change the actual mechanics of the game to make it playable. If there's a mod that changes mechanics of the game in Skyrim, it's either for something fun that wasn't already there. Look, the only thing... Okay, there are things that I don't like about the mechanics in Skyrim, but that doesn't mean that I can't work with them, right? So I would love, like... The thing that I loved about this character right here, okay, is being able to use the sword and the shield and still use spells in combat effectively. Sure, you can do it in Skyrim, but you seem to spend half your time in the menus in combat doing all of these modifications to your current loadout to make it work, and if you do one little thing wrong in that, you're probably going to end up dying because you'll have thrown your sword, or, you know, you meant to put... Because the big problem I've got in Skyrim is I would like to... Thanks for the follow there. Can I just call you Bellamy? I don't know how to pronounce that at all. That is, or PB, I don't know. But thank you for the follow. Particularly when I'm rambling like this, I would have thought that would have put people off from following. But thank you very much. Yeah, like the biggest problem I have in Skyrim, right? If I want to play a character that uses magic and melee, when I hit a hotkey for a spell, it always goes into the left hand. That's not always what I want, right? Because sometimes I might want to put the spell in my right hand and leave whatever was in my left hand there. But if I do it wrong, it goes into the left hand, and then I have to hit it again so that it's also in the right hand, and then I've got to put the other spell back in, or whatever else I had, back into my left hand. So the classic example here is I was playing around this morning. I had been playing with a SpellSword type character where I had a sword in one hand and a spell in the other. And I was getting my butt absolutely kicked by the one thing I hate about Skyrim. Chorus. They do way too much poison damage. But anyway, I was getting my butt kicked by Chorus in this underground Falmer ancient Dwemer site. And I decided, fine, there's this shield I've picked up. I'm going to put it in my left hand. I'm going to have my bound sword in the right hand, and I'm going to attack with the bound sword, block with the shield, and if I decide that I want to cast a spell, I want to put it in my right hand, which had the bound sword, and use that spell in my right hand so that I can still block with the shield in my left. Trying to do that in Skyrim is incredibly hard, because you can't just pull up the hotkey for your spell and expect it to go into your right hand. It will go into your left hand first. So what you can do is call up the spell twice, which means it drops whatever's in your left hand, call up that spell, then call up the spell in the other hand, and then grab the shield back into your left hand. And that is just super annoying in combat. The only other way to do it is to drop it either into the hotkey menu using Q, or go into the actual inventory and then manually go and assign particular items to the left and the right hand. There is the Sky UI mod that I'm using, allows you to record combinations of things, but it doesn't. Like, what I would like to do is be able to have a thing where you can just switch to say which hand is going to use a spell. And whenever you call up the hotkey, the spell goes into that hand. That would be a really nice feature. I haven't looked to see if there's a mod for that in Skyrim, but that would be really nice, because most of the time I would probably be using my left hand, but if I wanted to use a shield, I would swap that to the right hand, and I'd be able to have shield there and the spell in the other hand, and then I could pull a sword out or change that spell to be the bound sword and cast that, whatever. But yeah, that's the thing that really annoys me with... and Clanfear are really annoying in this game as well. But that's what really annoys me in Skyrim about the mechanics of everything. But that's really the only problem, the only major problem that I see, is that management of what's in what hand. It's much easier to manage it in here because the spell doesn't actually have to be in a hand. You do still cast it with a hand, but depending on what you're doing, it will decide to use it either in your shield hand or in your weapon hand or what have you. If you're using a two-handed weapon, it will use it in your offhand so that your main hand is holding the weapon still. If you've got a sword and a shield, it'll do it in your sword hand, but you still actually see the sword in your hand. And if you've just got a sword and no shield, it'll do it in your offhand. That makes a lot of sense, and I wish they had kept that for Skyrim, quite frankly. I do still like the ability in Skyrim to be able to overcharge a spell by doing it in both hands. That is fine, but I wish there was a bit more granular control over which hand held the spell and stuff like that. Is that for Skyrim or for Oblivion, David? Because the Sky UI mod that I'm using for Skyrim will do that, including armor sets and everything. I just don't do it because I don't change armor, because that's the other thing. The backpack mod that I've got is not compatible with amulets, so I can't be carrying a backpack at the moment, and I'm just over halfway through with this one sword, well, two swords and the rock shatter, and some other, and my normal armor. There's no way I could carry a second armor set in this game. So yeah, it doesn't really help me here because I don't feel I need it in Oblivion. I only feel like I need that greater control in Skyrim. But having said that, I can work around it in Skyrim because, for example, the character that I sort of want to build is a little bit paladin-like, I think. But I'm thinking of starting an orc fighter, and because I got the alternate start mod, I'm thinking of starting him in the orc warband. When you take that start, you start with a full set of orcish armor and an orcish axe and an orcish shield, which is a huge advantage at a start, as it is. But in that case, the main magic that the character would be using would just be restoration for self-healing. And in that case, I can hotkey the combination of equipment so that if I wanted to heal, I could hotkey it so that I keep my shield in my hand and I put the spell in my sword hand or my axe hand to heal myself, and then I would heal, and then I would hit the hotkeys again, and all he would do was just pull out the axe and still have the shield, and bang, 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 bang. So that would work really well, I think. And that, I think, is sort of what I did with my sword and board character. I'm also... The other option I'm thinking about with that start is not starting in the clan, in the orc stronghold at all, but starting... And this would... I can see St. Salvius just jumping up and down and saying, you have to stop playing Oblivion right now and do this. But I was thinking about doing an Imperial start and having the Orc do that, and actually doing the Imperial quest line, you know, the whole Civil War Imperial quest line. Because I haven't done any of the Civil War stuff yet. It feels to me like an orc would fit right in. Yeah, see? Me like. It feels to me like the orc would fit right in with the Imperial storyline, because the orcs do often serve in the Imperial military, where there's actually little to no evidence. I don't recall seeing a single orc as a guard in any Nord capitals, any Nord cities at all. Although, having said that, you don't really necessarily see it here in Oblivion either, in Cyrodiil. Mostly because it's hard to tell most of the time because they've all got helmets on. So, yeah. I'm really, really feeling like very briefly stopping this stream, taking a 5-minute break, and starting up the Skyrim playthrough. And the only reason I'm saying do the break is so that I can A, change the title on the stream, and B, I'll grab a snack, but B, it'll split the video so that when I upload it to YouTube, it'll go to the right. I'll be able to put it in the right playlist. I'm really disappointed that I haven't been able to I've gotten to a point where it's feeling just like I'm not sure if I can go on without just continually dropping the difficulty in Oblivion. Maybe I will consider loading the mods to make the game a little bit easier, but as I said, it's disappointing that I've got to do that, is the main thing. And I have yet to feel, except with normal archery, you know, with the bound bow, I felt I could get through, you know, and I did get through. I got through with the bound bow, but with normal archery, I don't know, maybe the only way I would ever get through Skyrim with normal archery would be to use that bow mod that I had that made the bow super powerful, super early. And I don't know later game what that would do. So I think I've talked myself into it, guys. I'm going to take a quick break here. It's going to be no more than 5 minutes. And I will be back with Skyrim, with our Orc Knight, I suppose. He's going to be very... You know me, I'm not on the shady side at all. So he's going to be a very upstanding Orc. But very much a knight. Heavy armor. I'm probably going to go down axe, but it doesn't matter because it's going to be just single-handed, sword and board, so axe and shield. Little bit of a lot of restoration, as much restoration as I can take. Probably going to go down the alchemy route. I don't know. I don't have to go down alchemy in this game, thankfully. I always seem to find enough potions for healing. That's the other big thing I've been finding here in Oblivion, is just keeping on top of healing potions is just so hard. And so I try not to use them now, and that causes problems. So I'm going to be right back. And we... hang on. I will do a save here, just in case I ever want to come back to this. But yeah. We are going to come back in a few minutes and start our Orc Skyrim build. If anyone's got ideas for names, try and catch me really early at the start and give me your ideas for names, because I really don't have a good idea for an Orc name at the moment. But I will be right back and we will do this. So thanks everyone. See you then.